What's up, it's the Jersey Jaguar, and in today's video we're going to go over the differences between Nike Elite and Nike Vapor Elite jerseys. Now guys, currently in the NFL, for those of you who don't know, Nike supplies the whole NFL, meaning every team wears Nike jerseys. Now from 2012 until 2016, the league was wearing Nike Elite, and then in 2017 they switched over to the Vapor Elite model. So in today's video we're going to go over the differences between the two models in terms of sizing, materials, fit, and a full comparison at the end, side by side. All right, guys, so let's get to it. All right, and we're going to start with the Nike Elite, being that it came out first chronologically, and that was in 2012 when Nike took over for the NFL to produce the jerseys. Now, guys, one thing that they wanted is they wanted a completely different construction than the Reeboks were. The only thing really that's similar between the Reeboks and the Nike Elite is this body mesh right here, okay? And guys, everything that I'm showing you will see close-ups with at the end of this section, okay? I'll have still shots, close-ups, and they'll be labeled in detail so you can see fully. All right, so we got the panelization right here, and they wanted good ventilation, so they left this mesh here, and which is polyester. Now here, I believe it is a nylon and spandex blend, because on the Vapor Elites, that's what it is, and it feels about the same material. Now, one thing I will say, when you guys pick up these jerseys, the Nike Elite is definitely heavier to touch. One thing to notice is the plastic NFL shield, which took over from the cloth that Reebok had. Now on the standard Elite, it does have the flywire in there. And actually, I believe the Ravens still in 2022 use these jerseys, if I'm not mistaken. I know they have these collars, if I do remember. Now the Packers have something completely different. The Packers, actually, their Elite and Vapor Elite is different than the rest of the league, or at least it looks like it is. And besides that, most of the teams will have these jerseys. All right, guys, back in 2012 until 2016. If you're wondering about the patch, I did add the patch on myself, because in 2012, the whole league wore those patches. However, it was only for a game or two that each team did it. It is the 50th anniversary Hall of Fame patch. All right, guys, I'll get into another video sometime about how to add patches to your jerseys. Back onto the construction of this. All right, so one thing I want to add is not only is these panels stretchy from the spandex, so is the material that is used for the customization on the letters and numbers, and they are pretty much standard with Kiss Cut versus Layer Twill. All right, guys, when we flip it around, we see that the standard mesh, the standard football mesh, goes on the top. Then we got the panels on the middle and the back. So the panelization isn't just on the front of the jersey, it's also on the back. And it is pretty close to the same shape, a little bit different. All right, guys. One thing to notice too, on here, the sleeves are all the same material. They do have really small shoulders with long sleeves and a wider body, okay? The Vapor Elites are cut a little bit different, and they have different materials. All right, and now we are on the Nike Vapor Elite, and again, the Nike Vapor Elites took over from 2017 until current times, all right? So now this jersey is pretty much that standard material, that panel material that the Nike Elite had. However, it's much lighter and thinner, and actually even more stretchy than that one. You can definitely feel the nylon and spandex in this material. So the jersey is pretty much a nylon spandex material throughout it. However, right here, it's polyester by that special part, which is different, as you can see, than the standard Elite. And right here in the ribbing in the sleeve, it's also different. But besides that, it's pretty much the same material. Talking about the material, I do want to let you guys know about maybe half the jersey, a little bit less than half, does have perforation on it. All right, so the bottom half of the jersey is perforated, meaning there's little tiny holes poked into the jersey. All right, and again, on these close-ups, you're gonna see. Now, one thing I do want you guys to fully see right there is how wide the opening on the collar is. So when you're wearing these, you're gonna be able to see more neck, collarbone, and traps when you're wearing these jerseys. All right, guys. The heat press is better quality as well on these. The material on the customization is still the same. It's still the same stretch material. It's Kiss Cut. Specifically for the Seahawks, it's sublimated. Some teams don't have the sublimation. Some teams just have standard colors. All right, guys. Now we can see how big the nameplate is and how much bigger the name is here. All right, as well as the rear number. Now, if you guys notice, this panelization is much different. This panelization is all the same material. However, the jersey is broken up into thirds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and it's broken up by this hemline that goes through it. Now, the perforation goes all the way up until that break right here, and then it's just the standard material without the perforation going all the way up. So it is kind of cool. Like I like these a lot. I like the way they fit. I like the shorter sleeves, the wider neck, the shorter body. I like the perforation in it. I think it looks much better. And like the standard Nike Elites look kind of cheesy, in my opinion. However, I still like those better than the Reeboks, just for the main reason is that those standard retail authentic Reeboks, like they always were made differently. There was like little to no consistency in the retail authentics whatsoever. So for that reason, I did like the Elite better, and I like the Nike Vapor Elites even better than the Elite and the Reebok. All right, guys, one thing also too to note is that this is also a plastic shield, but this one's like kind of chromed out. All right, it has a nice metallic finish to it. Now, in terms of the neck tag that some teams have specific to them, it's the same on the Elite and the Vapor Elites, as well as the jock tag and the Nike logos. All right, so the biggest things to remember is the perforation, the shortened and ribbed sleeves with the spandex in there, the material throughout the whole jersey, and the collar. These are gonna be the main things. There's gonna be some small minor ones that we're gonna go into in the measurements, all right? Let's get to that section now. But before we get to the measurements and the fit, we're gonna go into those close-ups that I was telling you guys about. All right, and now it's time for the measurements part of the video. Following the measurements is going to be fit. So guys, one thing before we get into that I forgot to mention in the construction and design part of the video is that the panels on the Elite jersey and the Vapor Elite jersey as a whole is water repellent, meaning when you see water on it, it rolls off. Now on the Elite jersey, on the non-panel material, meaning that standard Reebok style football mesh, it's gonna sink right into it. It's gonna absorb. All right, so guys, with that said, let's hop into the measurements. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with the Nike Elite. Now guys, these measurements are really weird for this jersey. Nike Elite and Vapor Elite do fit different from each other, but they also do fit different than the rest of the football jerseys. The Nike Elite has narrow shoulders with a wide chest, and it tapers very slightly towards the bottom. Really awkward, really weird fit, but it is what it is. So guys, when I get into these dimensions, I'm not going to go specifically how to measure jersey dimensions because I have a video for that already made. I'll post a link in the descriptions. With that said, on the Nike Elite, we have a top to bottom that measures out 32 inches. Now across the chest, AKA the pit to pit, we have 24 inches. At the body, right around the ribs, it tapers down to roughly 23¼ inch. And then all the way at the bottom, a little bit past the waist, we have about 23 inches. All right, guys, now here's where it gets tricky and awkward. The shoulders is 6¼ inches, meaning from the inside part of the collar to the shoulder hem, we have 6¼ inches. And then from that shoulder hem going down to the end of the sleeve, we have 12¾ inches. So if you measure on a straight diagonal line from the inside part of the collar all the way down to the end of the sleeve, we have a total of 19 inches. And now we have the Nike Vapor Elite, which is my jersey of choice. Now the Vapor Elite is going to have wider shoulders, a more narrow pit-to-pit and body. It's going to also have shorter sleeve and a more tighter fitting sleeve. With that said, let's get into the measurements. So starting with top to bottom, we have 30¼ inches. Now pit to pit, we have 23 inches, as well as the body and the waist is also going to be 23 inches. Now at the shoulders, we have 7½ inches with a sleeve length of 7 inches. Now a total sleeve length, including the shoulders, we're going to have 14½ inches. All right, guys, this is the Nike Elite. Again, 2012 until 2016. Personally, I'm about 6'2", 185 to 190 pounds somewhere. This is a size 44. The Vapor Elite will also be a size 44 for comparison reasons. So as you guys can see, it has narrow shoulders, a much wider body that slightly tapers at the bottom. All right, longer sleeves, looser sleeves. And when we go from the side, you can see it has a little bit of bag and looseness to it. From the back, side, again. So again, guys, narrow shoulders, longer sleeve, wider body. All right, so this is the Nike Vapor Elite. Again, I'm 6'2", 185, somewhere to 190 pounds. It is a size 44. So guys, already look at the wider neck hole, wider shoulders, shorter sleeves, tapered sleeves with the elastic banding on there to keep them nice and tight around your upper bicep. And if you guys notice, it has a tighter fit on the chest and shoulders slightly with a nice hang to the jersey. All right, it fits a little bit closer to your body, but it is not overly tight. Guys, the jersey itself feels lighter both to touch and actually physical weight. It is a lighter feeling jersey. It's more stretchy, it feels more durable actually than the standard Elite. And they wore these again from 2017 and are still currently wearing them. Guys, I prefer the Vapor Elite for my body type. What you prefer is completely up to you. And there you go. As you see, Nike Elite and Nike Vapor Elite have a lot of similarities, but they're still different. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And also, if there's a video you'd like to see in the future, don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my best to get it done. I'll see you at the next one.